What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the simple Killzone trick I use. And I don't base my trades off this, but it's something to be aware about, and I think it's very, very, very important to understand. If you don't know this, you're probably not a good trader, okay? Because you need to know this in order to be successful. It's good to be aware of, and it's basics that have been taught to me in the last 2 years of trading. If you don't already know me, my name's Dodgy. I live stream every single day. Make sure to click the link in my bio if you want to watch me live trade. There's a WAP link description. And don't forget to buy an Apex account. The 80% sale ends tonight, and I asked if they're doing a 90% off sale soon, and they said no. So get it while you can. There's not gonna be really cheap accounts until that 90% comes off, which is not gonna be soon, I heard. All right, so what is this little trick? Basically, this was a thread I found when I joined Twitter. It was probably about 3 years ago, and this crypto guy made it, and I read it, and ever since I read it, it's really stuck with me. And it's a little confusing at first, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it makes so much more sense. So I'll kind of just go over a few examples. So Asia is typically your consolidation. If there isn't consolidation in Asia ranges, New York AM session is typically bad. Okay, now how can we use this to our advantage? Well, if Asia makes a big move, we know AM is going to be trash. London typically manipulates. And if we do not manipulate and New York trades back above the London high that should be the manipulation, New York usually continues. However, if we get a short setup without taking out London high, and London high already took out Asia, keep in mind this is very confusing, I know, then New York will reverse. So I'm just going to go over a few examples so you guys can easily understand. I know it's a little complicated, but here's the deal. So in this example, Asia expands, which means what? Which means New York session is going to suck. Did New York session suck? Yes, it did. Which means PM session is going to be better. Was PM session better here? Yes, it was. Look at this. Okay, like magic. So in this example, we see London manipulates. And if we're expecting this to be the manipulation leg, we should expect New York to trade lower. And it does. We do trade lower. We take out these equal highs or equal lows right here, and it does trade lower. And then it reverses later. But the key thing is here, we do not reverse till the end of the session. So this was a manipulation. We failed to take out the London high here, and we do reverse. We go back to lows we made in Asia. So that truly is manipulation. And how do we know that this is the manipulation leg? Well, we know when we get this inverse fair value gap right here, this bullish one, we know that this should be likely the manipulation, and we should not take out this high until the next session. And we take it out during the New York lunch session. And typically, the lunch session will be a lot better if the AM session is trash, which is a result of a big overnight move, which you can see Asia moved a lot and London moved a lot. So that's the first example. Because price takes out Asia high here and we get this inversion, I know we're going to go take out some Asia lows. It might not be the Asia low every time, but it's still really important Asia lows. Okay, in this example here, Asia consolidates. However, it's a very, very big range, which means New York AM session is probably going to be trash. London manipulates. And when I see London trade back above like a really obvious inversion gap or something like that, what does that mean for New York? It means it's probably going to continue. So London, we get this really nice inversion set up here. And we go back up. New York opens. One, we get bad price action because Asia just made a big move and it's a 50-point range, which usually does not happen, which, by the way, I think this is happening because we are at all-time highs. Usually a 50-point range for Asia, it's pretty rare. It's generally like a 10 to 20-point range during Asia session. That's pretty rare just because the market's trading at all-time highs. When we're in a ranging market, this is much more consolidation-like, and New York's usually better. So we do get price action today that was horrible as intended because Asia session be bad. And we finally kind of continue up here, but it wasn't until we finally inversed this when we had built up all these stops from people getting wrecked already. Okay, but you can see Asia kind of consolidation, manipulation, New York reverses. Now, in here, we get Asia here, okay? London goes up, and here's the thing people get confused about. If London does not take out Asia low and we take out the Asia high. And then before New York opens and we take out the London high again, typically that means New York will continue and we will not reverse until the later session. So because we go back up to this London high, which should be protected if London truly was a manipulation, that tells me, okay, New York's going to reverse. We're going to go up and, or not reverse, I'm sorry, continue. We should go up here because this high that should be protected and should bring us down to Asia low gets broken before New York session even opens. And then when do we reverse? We reverse in lunch. Okay, that is typical. That is typical price action. Remember that. I know you're probably like, oh, what is he talking about? Remember that. Okay, and also you can see not great price action here. Lunch and PM become way cleaner. Okay, that's just a typical sign of price action. Same thing here. Asia consolidates. London makes a high and low. Big, big, big overnight move, which means the New York AM session is going to be bad. Now, this was an exception. The New York game session wasn't really that bad here. But the thing that was bad about it is the first, 30 minutes of open. Just look how trash this was. Now, how do I know New York's going to continue here? Well, before New York opened, we retook out London high, which already took out Asia high, which means the New York session is going to continue, and then New York lunch and New York PM is probably going to reverse. And if it doesn't reverse, it just means we're going to get really good price action. So same thing as this. It's all market maker model. Look at this. This is a market maker sell model. This is a market maker sell model. This is a market maker sell model. And then we get another buy model here. And it all begins with these sessions. Okay, it's so important to understand this. So if we look again, AM session here, or Asia session here, kind of consolidates, still pretty big range. And then we get a big, 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 big London manipulation move, which is a huge move. This was about a 787. This was almost a 70-point move, just crazy. And you can see New York AM session is trash. And because the New York AM session retook out London low, what do we expect for New York PM and lunch? Reversal. We get a reversal here, reversal here. Okay. Asia right here consolidates. London doesn't really, London technically manipulates. And then before New York session even opens, we go back to the high. Now, again, you can't be relying on this for trades because here's the thing. In this example, we already actually took out buy side way to the left. And I'm not going to go to the left to show you guys that, but it just shows this is not concrete. It's just something to be aware of. And you can see typically if we take out that London high before New York opens, New York will continue. But did price action tell us that? No, not at all. Price action was not holding this fair value gap here. We are not holding this bullish fair value gap here. If we got a long setup off it, then yeah, we would have continued. But this proves why no matter how many indicators you use, whether you use this session technique I use, it proves without price action up front, we can't be bullish if we don't hold this. And price did not hold this. What does that cause? It causes New York to reverse. Okay. Now, if we go back down here, this is interesting because we get another big, big Asia move, another big London move. And what happens? In this example, as I said before, we take out that London high before New York actually opens, which means what? Which means New York is probably going to continue, and indeed it does. So we get bad price action here because of the big overnight move again, and PM session and lunch clean way up. And this is a day where I like to trade PM and lunch. Okay, I'm going to go over one more example. Asia right here. Now this is true consolidation. I like this. This is true consolidation because it's such a low range. It's like a 74. It's about a 30-point range, which is a little higher than normal, but not too bad. London does what London normally does, and then we take out that London high before New York opens. Well, what does the New York do? New York AM continues. PM lunch reverses back to those AM lows, and then New York PM reverses again. And you can see how each session sets itself up for the next session. Okay, and if you don't understand now, you might have to watch this twice. It's going to take screen time. You're going to have the back test and look at these. I've been looking for these for 2 years. I can't explain this in a 10-minute video. Okay. Again, I'll just do another example. I'm trying to find another. So right here, this is going to be the last example. Asia consolidates, not great price action. London, big down move. Well, how do we know that this is going to be a manipulation and New York's going to reverse? It's all in the price action. When I see these two big bearish rally gaps inversed, I know that, okay, New York should reverse when it opens, especially because we get this really big Judas swing. And if you don't know this is Judas swing, watch ICT videos. I know New York is now going to reverse because of what happened in London, because we inversed it before. And does price re-go and take out those London lows before New York opens? No, it does not. So we do not want to expect New York to continue lower. We want to expect it to reverse because we inverse this. So you're going to see that's what happens. And we got really good price action this day. Well, what does that mean for New York AM and or New York PM and lunch? Bad price action. Bad price action here. Not the greatest price action here. So it all depends on how good or bad or and price action is. It depends on when we get the manipulation. But generally, the theme that I'm trying to share with you guys is this. This is gem. This is the key. And again, you can use my little trick to where if London does retake out the London higher low before New York opens, New York often does continue. And if we don't retake out the higher low before New York opens, look for a reversal for New York. Obviously, price action's king. Do not fade price action and what it's telling you live time because it constantly feeds you data and maybe it tells you something differently. But this is a little backup plan if you're confused or if you want to find bias better. And again, a lot of these these market maker sell and buy models. Like this is a very clear sell model here. And it completes here. And then you can just see we get a buy model back up to the highs, which begins with Asia, which is initial consolidation. Okay, this is your smart money reversal. This is your Judas swing here during Asia. And it's just, it all lines up. Here's your initial consolidation. We go back to that. It's all going to click for you guys. You just need to keep putting in the work, put in the grind. And I spent a lot of nights just back testing this, and it's just something that I have in my back of my head at all times when I'm trading. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I know this can be a little complicated, but remember this pattern. It's very important. And if you guys don't already know, these are the Killzone times. So that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night or evening wherever you live, and peace.